I also loved what the Suns did, Tom. I got to say, at first, when they traded Kevin Durant and they didn't get their future picks back, I was like, Brian Gregory, off to the worst start in history as a general manager. And I cooled off. I became a little bit less emotional. I talked to Gambo, and I get it. I get the approach that they took with KD. I get going for the younger guy in Jalen Green rather than getting, some picks back in the future. I understand. I wish they got their picks back, but I understand the approach. And then their draft night. Khaman Maluach out of Duke falls to the 10th pick. They trade up to the first pick in the second round. They get Rasheer Fleming, who is a really good 3-and-D style guy. And then with the 11th pick in the second round, they get Kobe Brea out of Kentucky, who's one of the best shooters in the entire draft class. And not just like standstill shooter, a shooter who can come off of screens, who can hit sidestep three-pointers as well. So you get Maluach, a big, Fleming, and Brea. The Suns, to me, are suddenly looking fun. They feel fun. They feel like a really good, exciting young team to build around with Devin Booker. And if I'm Book, I went from saying to myself, well, maybe I should look around and look elsewhere, to suddenly I'm looking at my Phoenix roster and I'm like, okay, we could be something with this crew. We could be something. Like, we could be a competitive team, and we get a lot of guys that can get better over the course of time. So I've completely changed my tune with the Suns, and they're starting to, once again, Tom, look like the bright future Suns. That's what they're starting to look like again after these horrible years. They're still going to get rid of Bradley Beal, but I'm seeing the light. I'm seeing the light, Tom, with the Suns. I'm seeing the light. It's not out completely yet. There's still some clouds, but it's getting brighter.
Yeah. Look, hats off to them for resisting the urge to draft Jace Richardson, the Michigan State product, son of Jason Richardson at number 10. Just, I want to give him a round of applause, because after you go out and bring in Tom Izzo's longtime assistant as your GM, you bring in Jordan Ott, a Michigan State grad, as your head coach. I thought it was signed, sealed, and delivered that Jace Richardson, the Spartan, was going to go to them at number 10. But they resist that temptation, and they get Maluach, who's a project. He's a guy who I think can step in and give you some really good minutes at the center position, a position of need. I really like Khaman Maluach. I got to see him, like I told you earlier. I got a couple games watching Duke, being a North Carolina guy. But the next two picks, I really like them too. It's not just about Maluach, like you said. And remember, there was a guy, Devin Booker was his name, that he came off the bench for Kentucky, a good three-point shooter that tended to be much better at the next level. And I think there's a lot of potential there for Brea as well, is just a guy who's Kentucky guys time and time again. I know it's not Calipari anymore, but time and time again, Kentucky guys. I talked about Wake Forest earlier. The other program that continues to exceed expectations in the next level is Kentucky Wildcats. Before Calipari, after Calipari, there's something in the water there in Lexington, Kentucky. They do great in the NBA. They are born to perform at the next level. And so I like that pick. It is also kind of weird. They traded for Mark Williams. So Nick Richards and Mark Williams, and then a Duke guy, they really liked Charlotte Hornets center position last year. That they got both of those dudes in trade. So I think this is really interesting that the Phoenix Suns have loaded up at the center position and done a good job on draft night in ways that I didn't have faith, like you. I didn't have faith on draft night that they were going to make the right call, but they absolutely did.